Maybe I could have tried. Elf note.
In 3, 2.
Really now. Why not? Ghost Bell. Well, better now than never, I suppose. Better now than later, rather. Buh. You know I can just do that again? Oh. Right. Seems back row removal will be important. Oh, I don't have Irene. And they don't have Nibiru, otherwise they would have used it by now, I think. But well. No, they definitely can't use it. Woof. I probably should have activated this preemptively. A little too late now. White Forest. I do remember that being a thing. Where's the bridge? I think this kills me. No, not like that. Oh, how lovely. Oh my god. I know what that card is. Oh no, wait, right. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? Ah, I guess you can just, yeah, that makes enough sense. Like, you targeted the wrong thing, dude. Hmm. Right, I already used them. Oh, annoying.
Hello, true duelists. My name is Gregory Figuery. Here are some of the things that made news this week. Genesis comes to the OCG, a sign of a thriving format or proof it's going to die. Depends on who you ask and how much they like Genesis. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. 19th time in the past 12 months. Because this time, fucking Logan Paul. Fuck. The latest set in the OCG is getting more reveals, including
I don't think this card's gonna be useful.
players. If only those still existed. Isn't that right, Konami? The release date was announced for the delayed modern legendary decks for the impacted regions, and the reason that it got delayed will astound you. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Update. Genesis format. Long overdue alternative format that shows Konami wants to try and improve the game for players, offering a fun alternative in which
I don't want to play this deck.
Where a half-assed, pathetic attempt to
I'll
create
go
an
look up a
alternate
list
format
later.
with minimal differences from advanced
Didn't
just
think
panders to only boomers by
White
making
Force still had a
content
home in
links.
Genesis.
The answer, of course, depends on whether you find yourself a viewer of FARFA or a viewer of Yu-Gi-Oh's own marginalized bisexual theater kid. And more than both or either of the two opinions are allowed to have based on which content creators follow.
They don't have Baron, right?
Coming to the OCG. That's
I'm
right,
always
Japan
worried
Genesis,
because Baron
which means the
is
format will now
decidedly
be
not
2
100
weeks away from
points.
being dead in multiple regions
I
around
mean,
the world.
I'll take it.
You might be thinking
That
to
still
yourself,
sucks though.
how does this affect me? Why do I care? If you think like that, then you thought like an idiot. Because it means Genesis hype enthusiasts can now go from talking about how the format's actually really good and fun, now talking about how it's going to be on Master Duel any day now. And the crazy thing is, they're not entirely wrong. It's far more possible now because now it exists in the mind of the Japanese. Of course, Japan is the center of the universe, according to both the Japanese and namely their businessmen, and also people who consume Yu-Gi-Oh! Content online based on the comments I've seen. It does bring an element of worry, however, because it brings into question going to be running the points list from now on. Or when it was just the could be confident that they would never hit dimensional fissure because they want
I
players to
fucking knew
suffer.
it.
Whereas now, if the OCG does take over the list, you're going to leave in things like dimensional fissure because they want higher power levels under which the players can suffer. Just a I suppose. In all honesty, there is a divide between the philosophies of the OCG maximum semium that never really got Colossus banned, if I'm mistaken, or more simply, they currently have access to things we do not, in the form of potential combo shenanigans like Eclipse Wyvern. Point is, have more broken toys, and that's crazy. If that goes to Genesis, then it'll be even more like Advanced, and that's crazy. Like that's people say that sometimes. Point is that Genesis is too similar to the power level of Advanced. I don't believe that the OCG will improve on that criticism based on how they treat the ban list, or at least that, according to me, the man wearing a tie and a blazer, that I am in fact telling the truth. I do love the situation where Genesis can technically have a ban list now, because yes, Genesis doesn't have a ban list, they have the point allotments which function. The cards that would overrule limit for the event conventionally being 100, but according to the OCG, they are 6-ish months ahead of us in card release. That means that they have cards we don't have currently. Those cards are not legal for play in Genesis. There's a pocket ban list that exists exclusively for OCG players. Doesn't really apply, I would assume, TCG players when we get world exclusive cards like the dinosaurs that came out recently, both of the closet and in that set where they got a fusion card that can kill you. Crazy. Anyways, this creates a funny spot of them getting to experience in the OCG what TCG players did once upon a time when there was a unified ban list. Sometimes cards would be hit before they existed in my hands. Crazy, and now they can feel that pain. Alternatively, they could do the crazy thing, the most Yu-Gi-Oh thing in the world, and that would be to, of course, split the format. Why have one unified Genesis? We can have OCG Genesis and TCG Genesis and see how
Sure, I
diverse
guess.
it gets. And then when they bring it to Master Duel, it can get its own unique Master Duel Genesis. And then we can have 6 formats across one game one being an online client and the other being cardboard that occupies space on so goddamn much of my desktop, both and physically. Wow, funny how that happens. Either way, that would be so fucking funny, I kinda want them. Presumably they wouldn't do that. But to say that hopefully this would lead to more of a universal release date, like literally every other prominent TCG has or has announced. You know, things a little different. We're just a few guys with a crazy idea. What if don't implement change in full capacity timeline in any sense? And that's why Konami is the greatest goddamn company on the planet. They think they'll sponsor me? I certainly don't. Either way, of course, all been announced on the deliberate part by Konami, not to bring OCG players a format that they seemingly want and would enjoy, but instead as an attack on Farfa by Konami. Revenge for him having abandoned them as one of their corporate good boys. They definitely were deeply and personally hurt by his abandonment and viewed this as a means to get back at him. We all know Farfa said he doesn't care for Genesis format, which in YouTube translates directly to I fucking hate this format, and everyone who enjoys it. Play Genesis, said to me, and I hope you die. That's a direct quote from Farfa that we all heard according to users of X, the Everything app. That seems to be the case based on the reactions you get
Whoa.
for saying you're not interested in Genesis Online. Now Farfa will face the worst fate he possibly could, having people bombard his comment sections on all his online platforms anytime anything remotely related to Genesis comes up in the community that say, hey, the thing you don't like still exists. Shuck it, Farfa. And some lovely news for this entire next section. As it turns out, I saw a screenshot of a tweet of a man with a face not long before recording that made this entire bit of the script irrelevant. So to quote a man who also wore a suit and tie, fuck it, and lie. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has died once again. You thought it was because of nobody buying the cards. You thought it was because the game was too complex. You thought it was because a commenter on the internet said so. You thought it was because the world is gonna fucking die and it's hard for you to live without the world. But something worse than all of those things put together, what has truly killed this game, and it's Logan fucking Paul. That's right, a screenshot from a video I have not and will not watch, depicting him next to a Blue Eyes with the $60,000 price tag. You don't need to see anything else. There's nothing relevant in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! To this video that he posted beyond that thing right there. Logan Thrall has now turned his eyes on Yu-Gi-Oh! Now this is obviously going to kill everything you ever loved about the game, as hordes of investor bros buy up every single thing you could ever want and make it so you can never buy product again, according to the Doom. And twist here in that you'll note got a picture of Blue Eyes up. Buy Pokemon cards. The latest Pokemon set will have some number of the 1,025 critters in it, but from time to time, Charizard's going to come back, and it's going to be a new Charizard. It's going to be Lugia. It's going to be a new Maractus, most coveted and sought after thing. Or, God willing, not the case of Bruxish, at which point you see one of those things on the screen. Go for this if you know what I mean. Get that shit out of here. The fuck is that fish? Anyways, the point is, Pokemon has unique characters that come back over and over. If you were to go and buy a box of the latest set of you think you'd pull Blue Eyes? No. What you'd get is an army of Redditors telling you you're an idiot for having bought products instead of singles. But also, you wouldn't get any Blue Eyes because Blue Eyes doesn't just get 1,000 reprints in every single set. Side sets. But still, the point is, even the most recent Blue Eyes printing generally isn't the most profitable one. Granted, maybe really valuable. I haven't looked. The point is, Kaiba collection Blue Eyes is not exceptionally valuable for another ultra rare Blue Eyes. You need that Legend of Blue Eyes 2002 secret rare first ed tech to get that big money card. You can't just put any of the special art Blue Eyes as specific versions of cards that are worth the money that are only from generally older sets, and we're seeing that following the release of the Big Booba Dark Magician Girl card, also known as the Grandmaster rare copy of that spell card that didn't really actually have Big Booba. I have a fucking mental debilitating disease that made me say I'm a five. Fuck it, it doesn't matter. Okay, the point is Grandmaster rare does not have a confirmation to be in the TCG clear at this point. Got $20,000 roughly as a buyback price for the most valuable one. So immediately that left the Yu-Gi-Oh sphere into the TCG spheres at large. Now entered the Logan Doll phase. Apparently means we now have to deal with this bullshit for some amount of time. Seeing prices go up in a lot of rarer collectible cards, Ultimate Rare Book of Moon, according to a tweet from House of Champs, I believe it. So if you are planning to get any higher rarity cards sooner rather than later, the more Hoganites that fucking come in and poach cards, the more profitable it will be for them and not you. So if you're planning on buying expensive things, do so now. The economy's fantastic. I'm sure you can afford it anyways. Now, there's a comedy in the fact that, like, seems anything from an old ass pack's going up in price. Are we really going to sit here and be like, yeah, $30 for the common printing of Battery Man AA, please? I'll take a play set of those. Apparently, at least one person has. That's funny. That's a silver lining you can take away from all this. And there is actually a line of hope, a best possible scenario, if you can imagine it, because there's been a problem with you. Probably 27,000 of them. One in particular come up over and over and over the past couple of months and or years. That being that product just doesn't sell. The fuck is interested in buying Legendary Duelist from the Deep, or whatever the stupid Ghost Rare Honor Arc card pack was. Like, go to your local game store and you've probably seen, just rotting on the shelves of just sets that can't move. Nobody wants them. They don't have any value to the players, so nobody cares. Now, we have a horde of absolute fucking morons coming in to try and make a quick buck off Yu-Gi-Oh! We could save the game with this. Could make Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 the prolifically bad set, most profitable one in the history of your local game. By convincing enough Joganites to go and buy that instead of the latest set. Now, does this mean that nobody will be able to get product? I'm guessing no. I don't think that there's going to be really enough of a profitable turnaround to go and buy First Protocol or anything to really get money from it, because how much actual collector value is from First Protocol, spoiler alert, almost fucking none. So I don't really see it impacting it the same way Costco got, Roganited or whatever the fuck it, I did another name to not say Jogan Glal. Point is, I think that this is not a good thing, but that doesn't have to be that it's the worst thing to ever happen. But that's actually not true, because I said at the beginning, Yu-Gi-Oh's dead now. Died again. I wonder if it'll ever heal. Presumably not, because you can only die, Yu-Gi-Oh! You're going to die forever, real. So, F's in the chat for Yu-Gi-Oh! Huge shout out to Battery Man AA for getting that big 3-0 30th anniversary of that common ass card. Can't wait to see what fucking Rogan Grawl bring to my card game of choice. I hope every investor on the planet is alive. And speaking of collectors, Chaos Origins, the next set coming to the OCG, has had some tidbits learned about it. One in particular of note, those collectors. It depicts the Pharaoh on the cover, not seen on the cover of a main core set, 2004's Rise of Destiny, according to the 30 seconds I spent confirming that on Yu-Gi-Oh! While working at my day job. And I am talking about core sets, 700 side sets, or, Megatins pick the Pharaoh all the goddamn time every year. No, there's a special other one, the main set. More interestingly was the announcement of archetypes being designed to be more playable right out of the pack, come in the form of 11 cards per wave, such as for Sacred Beast cards, getting their nice little bit of support, and the new archetype, the Blitzclick, is a thunder deck that apparently is comparable to Fluanda Reeds. And if that's the case, that means that there's birds, and birds are the devil. I fucking hate them. But I hate the Blitzclick too. Whatever the hell it gets translated into. Blitzy boys. I play that deck. I can summon some fucking Blitzy boys. I'll be doing that shit every goddamn day. Anyways, more than that, we're getting a fancy ass alternate arts in the sets of Thunder King Raya. Fits in with those Blitz Click because they're all Thunder monsters. So there's synergy to it. Got a real sick new art for all those Edison events that will not be happening in North America whatsoever. But the three of them that happen at the three that Europe gets every year, they're going to be popping the fuck off. Or if there's still an Edison event, enough you flex your fanciest Ryo on, or maybe you can't. Maybe Logan Frawl death with a shovel so that he could get his hands on it, or one of his. God damn, it's just enough to make your blood boil. The point is, the fancy new Ryo. That's it. That's the whole fucking terrific. And I guess I should include more of a joke. Team Samurai, we're like Team Loud Guy. I got him. Europeans, Flathead players, people from the Middle East, Africa, and Australia. I don't know why I'm putting these long ass pauses. What is? Without the legendary modern decks, seeing as how Konami decided, they're not fucking getting them. Announced that there were flaws and a problem, and so they played the set inevitably, saving all two common charity Discord servers from the plague that is common SP Little Light and Typhon decks would bring about into them. Point is, you got the release date now. Abandon the new style entirely. There's a release date has been confirmed for all impacted regions, that being the 23rd of April, which is a month and 10 days past the initial release date. So not as egregiously bad as it could have been. Still a pain in the ass for literally everyone that isn't an Anglo-speaking individual from North America. Delays, not horrendous, but it does beg the question of why? Why did this have to happen? How did this quality control issue get so rampant that it would impact almost every single player of the TCG, except for Anglo-North America? See, Konami initially was confused because they looked at the map and they couldn't
Yikes,
find
that's
the
not a good sign.
just not there. What are you talking about? There's nothing on the map for them to look at. But also, as it turns out, all a deliberate ploy on part of Konami to give their own Konami representative Douglas Z time to learn how to pronounce the cards in this set. After the shenanigans of Maze of Muertos decided, no more of that. We need this young man with an English degree a full month to learn how to pronounce the name of Typhon. Find out if he did it or not. That's why. That's right, folks. It's been confirmed. Breaking news. Douglas Thief. The wheel to... Douglas Zeef really did it. He's the one that kept all of Europe from getting the set. Definitely not the fucking abysmal quality control on half of Konami. No. English degree. Does this have an English degree? I don't know. Anyways, that's all I've got. Goodbye. I'm not gonna lie, I ended that last segment with goodbye, and I don't know how do you keep talking after goodbye? Flawless video design. One and only Fred Go Reed. That's right. That wraps it up for this review update. As always, I've been your host, Alexander Simo. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Not only will you impress your smoking Italian wife, you'll also become a true beast. Sick Joe. Sick fucker.
Beautiful. MST. This is where I'd get buried. Except they didn't. Nice. Oh. That was a fucking top deck in Genesis. And then I lost the elf notes.